Alright, most people spend hours trying to break stuff in Maya and still get garbage results. Fake sims, lazy plugins, zero control. It's a mess. But guess what? Maya has everything you need to shatter and destroy your models like a freaking VFX master. No third-party junk, just clean cinematic chaos. So today I'm showing you how the pros do it, fast, realistic and actually satisfying. Welcome back to Primal VFX, I'm your host Skart, and if you want to see more cool shit like that, smash that like button, subscribe for more awesomeness, and let's dive in right now! Before we dive into the heart of this video, ask yourself, do you ever dream of crafting 3D cinematic sci-fi worlds? Well, buckle up because I've got something extraordinary for you. Welcome to an unexpected odyssey, episode 1, Environment Modeling with Maya. This full course is your gateway to mastering the art of modeling and designing immersive environments. I will be sharing with you how to plan and organize personal projects, keep motivation and be efficient in tackling such a large environment scene. Discover a seamless modeling workflow that thrives on precision, channeling attention towards shapes, forms, and harmonious proportions. Uncover ingenious kitbashing and modular asset strategies that infuse life into your scenes. Let's turn your dreams into stunning reality. The adventure begins now, and you can join the journey over at primalvfx.com.
Alright, Maya's up and running, so let's smash the basics and get straight to it. First off, let's create a simple plane. Scale it, freeze the transforms, delete history, and center that pivot. Clean and tidy, always. Now let's drop in a cube. Scale it into a nice vertical shape. Think of it like a pillar or column. Snap it to the ground, and then give it a few subdivisions so we have some geometry to work with. Once that's done, same drill, freeze transform, delete history, and center the pivot again. Then rename both objects, because yes, we're not savages. Keep your scene clean. Now, time for the fun part. To shatter the object, switch over to the FX menu and click on Shatter Effect. You've got two main modes here, Surface Shatter and Solid Shatter. Let's try Surface Shatter first. And yeah, it splits the object into pieces, sure. But as you can see, there's no actual thickness. It's just flat faces, no shell, no volume. Kinda useless for real FX. So let's switch to Solid Shatter, now we're talking. You can define how many chunks you want. Let's go with 20 shot count for now. Make sure to activate Triangulate Surface. That's important. And instead of deleting the original object, just hide it. Trust me, it's safer that way. Hit apply and give it a second. Boom, we've got chunks. The outer part stays gray, but the inner areas are automatically assigned a different material, usually yellow. That's because the Shatter tool gives the inside faces their own shading group. Pretty useful. Alright, now let's move on to the simulation. We are gonna use bullet physics with active and passive rigid bodies. So jump into the bullet menu and start by selecting our pillar. If we applied active rigid bodies directly to each chunk, yeah, it would work, but it'd also be a nightmare to simulate. So instead, use a rigid set. This treats all the fractured pieces as a group. Much more efficient. Don't forget, freeze transforms, delete history, and center pivot before applying the rigid set. Then hit Create Rigid Set. And boom, it's done. Next up, select the ground plane and assign it as a passive rigid body. Change the shape type to plane, then apply and close. Now hit play. Look at that. Everything simulates, pieces fall, bounce, collide. It just works. Make sure your playback speed is set to either play every frame, max real time, or play every frame, free. That way, the physics sim plays back correctly. Now let's crank it up a bit. In the bullet solver, we can tweak the mass of our shattered object. Let's try setting it to 5. You'll notice it behaves heavier, more weight, more impact. Nice! But here's where things get juicy. Let's add a sphere, that's gonna be our wrecking ball. Scale it down, freeze transform, delete history, center pivot, you know the drill. Assign it as an active rigid body and set the collider shape to sphere. Now for the pillar, we want to go a little deeper. Under collision attributes, switch to all. That'll make the collisions more accurate and give the sphere a nice heavy mass, let's say 10. Here's the magic. Enable glue shapes on the pillar. This holds all the chunks together until something breaks them apart. And turn on initially sleeping. That way the pillar stays still until it's hit. Time to launch the sphere. Set the velocity, maybe -50 on Z, to send it toward the pillar. Hit play and boom. Clean impact, satisfying breakup, and full destruction. Now crank that velocity up to -100, boost the mass to 20 and check that out. More force, more realism, more chaos. Exactly what we want. You can tweak a few more settings if you want, but this is the core idea. Simple setup, fast sim, clean results, all inside Maya, no plugins. Boom, you've got the tools to shatter like a VFX beast. Next up, we grab a badass model and prep it for total annihilation. Alright, so for this demo, we need a badass model, something we can absolutely destroy in style. And what's better than diving into myminifactory.com? That place is stacked with insane characters and miniatures just begging to be lit, rendered, and completely blown apart. After digging a bit, I stumbled on this super cool artist profile. All these models are by Arminas Didiokas, and yeah, the guy's got style. It's packed with crazy skeletons, gothic vibes, and some real cinematic potential. And I mean, just look at this one. Total attitude, detailed sculpt, and honestly, it feels like it walked straight out of Evil Dead 3. This thing has character, it has shape, and more importantly, it's gonna look incredible when we shatter it into pieces. So yeah, we're going with this one. Add to cart. Downloaded, let's bring it into Maya. And here it is, imported and ready. I gotta say, this model has amazing shapes, really bold silhouettes, and a tight design overall. It's giving off that classic undead warrior energy, but with a modern stylized edge. This is gonna be fun. I can already picture the chunks flying, the materials cracking, and that slow motion destruction shot just waiting to happen. But before we start breaking bones and scattering debris everywhere, we've gotta prep this guy properly, set up the fracture, and do it like a real FX artist would. Alright, it's time to shatter this beast again. We're going all in on this badass figurine. So let's get destructive. Jump back into the FX menu and go to Shatter. Set the shard count to something spicy, let's say 275. Make sure triangulate surface is turned on, and this time, instead of hiding the original mesh, let's just delete it outright. Click Create and boom, let it cook. Now heads up with this many shots, it'll take a bit of time. So yeah, save your scene, grab a coffee and be patient. Once it's done, you'll see we've got some really nice fragmentation. Big chunks, small bits, lots of variation, this is gonna look sick. Next, select the shattered mesh. Now go ahead and create a rigid set. This might take a minute, heavy geometry means heavy lifting, but it's worth it. Once it's done, let's set up the bullet solver. Turn on initially sleeping so the pieces don't fall right away. Enable glue shapes to hold everything together until it's hit. And for collision shape type, set it to all for more precise collisions. Now let's add a ground plane. Scale it up to fill the scene. Freeze transforms, delete history, center pivot, you know the drill. Assign it as a passive rigid body. Choose plane as the collider shape. Apply and close. Hit play and yeah, nothing happens. That's expected. Now it's time to trigger the chaos. Let's create a sphere. Scale and position it so that it hits the figurine in a cinematic way. Maybe start with the shield, then smack the skull. Once again, freeze transforms, delete history, center pivot. Make it an active rigid body. Set the collider shape to sphere and give it a mass of 10. Now tweak the initial velocity so it flies toward the model. Play the sim. Not enough impact. Let's crank it up. Try increasing the mass to 50 and push the velocity further. Now we are talking. The sphere crashes into the figure and it explodes like a boss. You can also tweak the glue breaking threshold to control how easily the pieces separate. Let's also set the mass of the figurine to 5, just to balance things out. Play it again. Nice, that's clean. Still want more drama? Let's hit the velocity one more time. Maybe push it to something faster. Boom, there it is. That's the kind of destruction we're after. Now that the scene looks badass, it's time to cache the effect. Under the bullet menu, there's an option to export to Alembic. But honestly, for me it's always been buggy. Never really worked properly. So here's a better way. Go to the Arnold tab, then into Scene Export and select Export All to Alembic. This method is cleaner, more stable and just works. Pick your location, save the file and let it bake. Now open a new Maya scene, import your Alembic file. And boom, your entire simulation is now cached and ready to go. First time you hit play, it might feel a bit slow. So just enable Preview Cached Playback. That way, Maya will store it and run it smoother. And there it is, a fully simulated high-res destruction shot. Everything behaving just like we want. Clean, reliable, cinematic. Before we move on, let's clean up the scene. Delete whatever junk we don't need. Keep your outliner tidy and only keep the essentials. Now we're ready to push this to the next level. Next up we go full cinematic mode. Lighting, color, mood, time to make this shot look straight outta Hollywood. Alright, let's break down the lighting and camera setup I used to dial in the final look. First off, I created a simple backdrop, just to frame the scene and catch the shadows right. Then I dropped in a camera, switched to the cam view, and boom! We've got a low angle shot, giving that epic cinematic power. I set the focal length to 35mm, not too wide, not too flat. It's punchy. Now we can scrub through the timeline and preview our destruction shot in action. Already looks good, but let's kick the lighting into high gear. Launch the IPR, switch to the camera view and let's solo the lights one by one. First up, we've got an HDR eye dome giving us a subtle feel. Not too strong, just enough to pull some base values out of the shadows. Then on the right, we've got our key, light, tinted a warm orange tone. It's stylized, but it adds energy and mood, super important. On the left, we've got a cool blue light, perfect for contrast and color separation. Classic teal orange scheme, but with a bit of attitude. Then there's a top-down light, like a shower, casting strong vertical shadows across the figurine. It gives that dramatic edge and brings out more of the sculpt. Next, we've got a rim light, full on fiery red, hitting from the backside. Adds just enough glow and makes the silhouette pop. And I added one more light to hit some of the fine details, just a cold steel blue accent for extra contrast. Put all of that together and you get this. A clean, controlled, but cinematic light setup that gives us depth, contrast, and serious drama. Scroll through the scene and you'll see the different stages of the explosion, all beautifully lit. Every piece, every shard, it's catching light where it counts. It's epic, full stop. Now let's talk shading. For the skeleton figure itself, I'm using my custom plastic shader. If you've seen my previous tutorial, you already know the setup. If not, go check it out after this. I built it from scratch, step by step. Here I just tweaked a few things. Dialed in some color values, adjusted the subsurface scattering, and changed the SSS color slightly to match the lighting. Apply it to the model. And yeah, look at that. You get this wax-like, slightly plasticky surface that reacts super well to lighting. It brings the figurine to life, even in the middle of destruction. I've already set up all my AOVs for compositing. And the SSS is doing its job beautifully, glowing where the lights hit, giving us that translucent, cinematic punch. And now, we're ready for the final shot. Time to turn this chaos into pure cinematic gold. Let's make it look big screen worthy. Alright, here we are in Nuke, ready to bring the destruction to life, with some proper cinematic finishing. This is our loaded, rendered sequence, and already you can see the energy. It's dynamic, clean, and absolutely ready for polish. And this is the final result. Let's break down what went into the compositing stage to get there. First off, I broke out the main AOVs: diffuse, specular direct, specular indirect, coat, transmission, subsurface scattering. Everything Maya and Arnold gave us to work with. On each pass I did some subtle tweaks. The diffuse got a slight brightness boost. Specular direct was pushed a bit for sharper highlights. On the coat layer I bumped the exposure to pop that gloss. And on surface scattering I added some stylized tweaks using master grade nodes to keep it punchy. Then I merged it all together using a plus operation, layering it back into a clean beauty reconstruction. I added a blue flare on the left side of the frame using cryptomats, blurs, and a few tricks to isolate the spot and control the shape. Merge that back in again, plus operation, and the result feels layered, cinematic, and moody. After that, I went into final color correction, some minor tweaks, just to even things out. Then came the depth of field pass. I shuffled in the Z-pass, gave it a slight grade and clamp, then piped it into a Z-defocus node to add some subtle blur on the edges of the model. Not too much, just enough to soften and add depth. Then of course a simple vignette, because we are not savages. Helps frame the shot and pull focus to the center. After that came the lens effects. First, a bit of chromatic aberration. Subtle, tasteful, never overdone. Just enough to add realism and polish. Then I added grain, using my go-to Alexa grain node, just to get that extra bite in the image. Followed that up with a lute to give it the final cinematic tone. Something with contrast, film-style colors, and mood. Last step, a nice overall glow pass, just to unify everything and make it feel alive. Then boom, export that shot, and we're done. And here's the final render. What do you think? Can you break stuff in Maya and make it look Hollywood ready? Hell yes! Drop a comment with your thoughts, and let's keep pushing the boundaries together.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel for more awesomeness. And I see you guys in the next video.